my name is Courtney Holm. I'm a teacher at Prairie View Elementary in New Salem, and this video is a little tutorial on how to use ozoblockly.com. So ozoblockly.com is the computer website that is paired with using these Ozobots, which is a little tiny coding robot such as this little black one right here. If you go to ozoblockly.com, this is the main screen that pops up. It is very user-friendly, very simple. At the top, there's a games, other links to email the company, a shopping cart. I continue down, you can shop and buy Ozobots, watch tutorial videos, or get started in the Ozoblockly editor and create your own codes for your Ozobots. So my students had never heard of Ozobots before bringing them into my classroom, so I started them out on the Ozoblockly games. And I chose to do that because in Shape Tracer and Shape Tracer 2, they were able to go through and program those Ozobots without having to use the Ozobot. So I did this all online first because I knew the little Ozobots themselves might be a little distracting for the students. So how this works is you're giving a goal and it says, get the Ozobot to trace the shape shown and make sure those light colors match. So I go into light effects, I drag it over, I double click, and it will turn it to green. My movement, it's kind of like a puzzle, it just snaps into place, moves it up 10 steps, and I can run it. It then gives you students options to load the program onto an Ozobot and then run the program. I just wanted them to get this coding part where it's setting that color, getting the movements in before we use the Ozobots. So then I move on, and as I move on, you see it's a little trickier. Now there's throwing in some turns, making it go forward, backwards, in a cross pattern, things like that, which are more difficult codes. Like I said, I had my students start off with these games because it was able to show them how to code and what to drag in order. Once we got done, we went into the program editor, which can be found down here under games or back on the homepage under getting started or down here get started. And it'll bring you to a page that looks like this. I created an account, so I'm able to save these. Accounts are free. I also created one for each of my students as well, so all of their program editing and things like that is saved under them. There is a certain amount of space that's allowed in the free version to save. After that, I believe you have to pay if you want to save more space. So I can click over here, and there's 1 through 5 levels, 5 being a master, 1 being the pre-reader. If you have younger students moving them, it's just more simple to read the movements versus 2 through 5. So I could have my students create a code based on something they want to do, or maybe it's something that I have created for them. So I might give them a list of get your Ozobot from point A to point B using these strategies, and then I'll have them code it as well, and then watch their coding to make sure their coding matches up with mine. Once I've added my code in there, I can make sure the students have done it by looking on their app or watching the Ozobot do the movements. When I have done coding, I click down to the load your bit section in this bottom left corner. I can set the Evo depending on which one you have. Some you have to set on top of your computer screen, others through Bluetooth can load it. It should take about 25 seconds to load. Once I set it on top, it'll start calibrating itself. It gives you instructions on what should be doing. Your Ozobot should be turning green. If it's red, you need to troubleshoot, and then you just double click for that. In the questions, it also shows you like how to run your program, those kind of things for troubleshooting as well. In my settings bar on the right hand side here, I have my account, my programs. If I have any saved, I can open them up. If I have any questions about tutorials, setup, loading, calibrating, all of that. App load, there is an app. This app I actually have downloaded onto the iPads in my classroom. So it'll tell you about this. Saving, classroom settings, troubleshooting, those kind of things. Advanced mode glossary just kind of explains a little more of what some of those things are for your students. Examples, challenges for them, and then user settings. So that's just changing the background color if you want, and various things like that. So here's my program spaced. From this, I've used 29%. I have that much left that I can save for one coding session. And then the flashing speed is just how fast your Ozobot will load. I will have another video out that shows how to code the Ozobots using the app. There's a couple different games on the app themselves. And then I'll do a third video that will show coding the Ozobots using markers and paper and things like that, where you don't need a computer or an iPad to control the Ozobot. I hope this video was very educational for you and that it helps you build your confidence in using Ozobots in your classroom. Thank you.